pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, and the governor's March 23rd, 2020 order imposing strict limitations of the number of people that may gather in one place, this meeting of the West Newbury Board of Health will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. If there's someone on it, I guess you would just go to www.westnewbury.org and it would be on our agenda. Does that all sound good?
Yep, perfect.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, works for me. Seeing Jane, Bob, sorry, Bob, I called you Jane. Seeing Bob doesn't have the agenda.
I don't. I'm sorry.
We might as well just get a couple of simple things out of the way. We'll start with the review the minutes from March 9th. I'm not sure if everyone's had an opportunity to look. Tom, how was that? Good?
Yes, good.
Have you guys had an opportunity to look at the minutes? And okay,
I have. They're fine with me.
Okay. Fine with me. All right. What, Carol? Sorry, talking to my wife. Paul, any steel landfill? So what we'll do is maybe why don't we just go on to discuss the automated barrel program. I think Paul's he might be busy too. We might be on the phone.
I'm right here. Sure. So still landfill, there's nothing new. I submitted a new to a consultant to do another round of gas monitoring probes last week. So we should have the results in a couple of weeks. Besides that, everything's going with the landfill.
You want to talk at all about COVID, Paul? Or you want to wait till after? You may be busy. I understand that. We all understand.
No, so COVID was going good. Yesterday, they got of individuals that can be eligible. We had a conference call just a couple minutes ago to end it in regards to day camps and, youth sports. So I've been in contact with the West modifications to youth sports this spring. So far things are going good. The clinic we had on this weekend, we did 2,500 doses. We're scheduled for the clinic again this weekend. But yeah, so everything's going good in the COVID world, better than we were a year ago.
All right.
That's true.
Bob, I think if I talk with Paul, I just want to make sure you know, Paul did try calling you Sunday at 2 in the afternoon.
Oh, I don't know what happened because I didn't get a call.
Yeah, I know. The only reason I'm asking is, Paul, you definitely have Bob's correct number, right?
Yeah, he talked to me yesterday.
So I'm going with he has it. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, he called me yesterday, and I was in the middle of delivering mail, and I couldn't cut out to go to Georgetown.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
If it was a Newburyport, postal truck and I would have been there.
Okay, gotcha. I just wanted to make sure. That's it. You guys, are we all set with COVID right now? Okay, why don't we go on to discuss the automated barrel program? I'm just looking real quick. Checks, okay. Jane, is there any updates that we ask for? I do, no offense, I kind of forget what we ask of you to do or not to do, or you know what I'm saying.
So I just included the whole public hearing notice for you guys to review.
Yeah.
And attached to that is an email from Mike McCarron requesting that before you vote on the regulation, you come up with a definition for the approved household, what an approved household is.
All right, that's been going round and round anyways. You know what I mean? We've discussed this many times, what to put for verbiage there. So,
So we can work on that. And then I think that was about it, besides the yellow highlighted areas on the fact handout sheet. Those were the items that were changed.
those I reviewed because you sent them out last week. I really forget. Yeah.
What was that, Jane? What was highlighted?
On the fact sheet,
Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, I see my copy, right. It didn't really come out that well, but I get it now, yeah. I can see it's somewhat highlighted, but it was a copy, so it wasn't bright yellow. That's good. I got it.
okay.
So with that said, I'm not sure if all of us, and I use the word all of us, have had, we okay? I'm good with it. The only thing I think Jane had a question about, and Jason answered it, something about, and I believe maybe Tom had commented about, we said anything over 25 pounds. I'm referring to the bulk items. I know Tom had maybe questioned something like, is there a weight limit? Is that correct, Tom? If it wasn't you, I'm not trying to blame you, sir. I think you had mentioned that maybe.
Yeah, I think what it was the originally when the fee schedule document had been put out, I wasn't sure whether or not it would be clear to everybody that what we wanted was it was going to be $20 for any acceptable item up to 25 pounds. And if it were over 25 pounds, they would need an additional sticker. And then Jane clarified that, and then I understood it well. And then she rewrote it. So as far as the questions and answers, the second one down on the second page, I think it makes sense now. It's good.
Good. All right. No, I just wanted to make sure. And then the question came up, whether it be from you, Tom, or Jane, it doesn't matter who it came up from. We asked Jason, or Jane asked Jason, is there anything too heavy? And I think that gets to a point that if he can't move it, then they won't take. Is that fair to say, Jason?
If they can't,
Is that Paul? Is he
If my-
eating?
It's Tom. No, it's Tom getting his chips.
Oh, I
No,
thought
it's
that was
not.
Paul.
I know. No, it's not. He muted himself.
Yeah, I get in trouble and I'm doing nothing.
I forget it. Go ahead, Jason, about what's too heavy?
So realistically, the DEP regulation for years has been that a barrel can't weigh more than 50 pounds because technically, according to OSHA, an employee shouldn't have to lift more than 50 pounds. There's two people on the truck generally. I'd like to stick to a 50-pound rule, but I understand like a dresser could end up being heavy. But I kind of leave it up to my guys. If they don't feel comfortable picking it up, they leave it.
I don't think
I
we
think
can.
you could say a 50-pound weight limit or a 75-pound weight limit on the item. I think that's fair.
Okay, you got that, Jane? Okay, perfect. No, I
Now
agree.
that they can bring it to my transfer station, they pay for the weight.
Right, and I think that's in there also, that it can go to your transfer station.
So Jason, you
You
said
got the more than reasonable offering a bulk item pickup. A lot of towns don't.
I know, we're doing it 6 times a year is what we could. You saw that, right, Jason? You saw the overview of questions and answers, I'm sure.
Yep.
I think we're being more than extremely fair about it. And that's just strictly my opinion. You know what I mean?
Jason,
Back.
you
Sorry, go ahead.
you just said the OSHA limit is 50 pounds.
I believe it is.
Okay,
I
now
know.
that's fine. I can't see us going over that if that's what you guys OSHA requires for you guys. I can't see going over that.
I'll confirm it, but every town contract I've ever had stated that a barrel could not weigh more than 50 pounds.
Okay, no, I'm fine with that. We don't want
And-
anybody getting hurt just to get rid of something.
Yeah, and if people complain about the bulk items,
Right.
realistically, when you were allowing a bulk item per week per house, you could never budget for your trash.
No, I
It-
agree
it's
with you,
impossible.
Jason.
So when you have a clearly set limit and then they have to pay for their bulk item, I just think it's more fair for everybody.
Totally agree with you.
So do
110%.
I agree with you.
Jane, would you like to comment anything about the, other than the verbiage of being what's a resident and what's not? Then we can discuss that if that's all you thought needed to be discussed. Sorry, Jane, go ahead.
That's one thing, but then I was also wondering, people that buy the extra carts for trash and recycling, will those be on our town property, and how is they gonna be delivered? Or is that gonna be at Jason's place and we ask the driver to do it? How does that go?
I can keep them at my place. And then you just give me a list of addresses who need carts. and we
Okay.
deliver.
Okay, great.
I mean, you can do it multiple ways. Amesbury keeps theirs at DPW, but they have such a huge DPW facility. They keep them
Right.
inside and residents have to come pick them up. You know, it's pretty hard for someone if they just have a small car to come pick them up.
Right.
And realistically, I don't think you're gonna get a huge influx right off the bat of people wanting carts, but all of a sudden you will. And it's more so gonna be recycling carts versus trash carts. So my sister's a little concerned because she knows people in town complain and they want weekly recycling and recycling as much as possible. So I think you might get a lot of people that want a second cart for recycling. And I think you just have to really.
Oh my God, Tom, you're killing me.
Oh, yeah.
Tom, mute it, Tom.
Are you getting feedback? Are you getting
Oh my
feedback
God.
from me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
What is this?
Every time you reach into that bag.
Hungry, Tom?
I think everybody just has to make sure that they're on the same page and have the same explanation to people as to why you're going to charge for a second cart. And with the rising cost of recycling and the rising cost of disposal for solid waste and recycling, realistically, the only way that you guys can truly budget for it is to set a limit. And that's the limit of an average household in most towns. So if they're going to create anything more than that, then they should be liable to have to pay for it.
What is it, pound wise, Jason? Or is it you just say 1 barrel a week?
It's
No,
just
what-
one barrel.
Okay.
Recycling is 1 barrel every 2 weeks. That we're still
Right.
sticking with that.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
want to make sure that's something to go with my.
So they've always said a 50-pound limit on a trash barrel. Realistically, those carts are equivalent to 2 trash barrels. So 100 pounds for a household per week is quite a bit. The average homeowner the average person creates 800 pounds per year between trash and recycling. So
That's good enough.
I mean, realistically, 100 pounds per week for someone, that's the equivalent of 6.5 people in the household.
Right, there you go. I got you. Yeah.
You know, I totally get it. You have baby. Yeah, your trash is going to be heavy. You're going to have a lot more than everybody else. But once your kids are out of diapers and going to school, it should lighten up.
Yeah. I like to believe, Jason, that I'm hoping that, I think, like you just said, my head's not all there today. I just had a really tough day, but it's besides the point. I think you're going to find not too many people who need a trash barrel, but a lot of people seem to go excessive, which it's not too excessive, but excessive with the recycling. I don't think this whole 65 gallons is going to be a big deal for trash, but recycling, we'll see. You see it, Jason. I mean, not only they put out a barrel, then they put out like 2 or 3 totes, I guess you'd call them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the hardest thing that they're going to have is managing the cardboard. Everybody lives.
Yeah, sorry. I had to shut that off. That was me.
So, you know, the cardboard, they're going to have to take the effort to bring it to Peeps, Dave.
I agree.
Jason, I checked with the DPW director, and we can use the highway area up there for storage for the carts while they're being assembled and distributed.
Yep, Jane sent me that email. I appreciate that.
Okay.
That would be a huge
Okay.
help.
We'll just have to work with him to make sure everything's all right.
Yeah, so it's going to be a total of, they're going to get delivered 2 tractor trailers per day for 3 to 4 days. I'm going to bring a forklift over. We have a setup that goes on the front of the forklift that unloads toters out of tractor trailers. So we're gonna basically have 3 people on the ground each day. Tractor trailers will get there probably in the middle of the night. We'll unload them first thing in the morning. We'll keep everything
Okay.
organized.
Okay.
Good.
So before it gets delivered, I'll go over there and meet with DPW and look at where they want us to put them and all that.
Okay.
What is the head of DPW's name?
Wayne.
Wayne Amaral.
I think I know him. Been there forever, right?
What's that?
He's been there for a long time, right?
No, he's only been there for 2 or 3 years.
Maybe I don't know him then.
But he's been in the city of Newburyport and a couple of others, so he's been around.
Oh, maybe I know him from Newburyport then, because I definitely.
Probably.
Huh. I know I had his number. Hey, Paul, you there?
Too busy eating chips. We looking for Wayne's number?
Yes, sir. I'm trying to look it up. Could you give Jason Wayne's number? For some reason, I do not. I'm not sure why I don't have it right here.
Yeah, I'll text it to him right now.
Yeah, or text it to him. Yeah, because you
Thank
should
you,
have
Paul.
that. All right. Not getting off of it? We kind of all set with trash, and I'm not trying to rush it. I'm really not. I just, other than once again the residential, the meaning of residential or whatever he wants us to put in.
Approved.
So what word does he want to change, Jane?
He wants to make sure that we have a definition for the word approved household. Like, what is an approved household?
I would think a legal residence.
Illegal, like, so they would be with the assessors? If they're listed with the assessors?
I would think. I mean, like my house, it's a legal residence.
Well, I think Mike was probably referring to whether the in-laws or 2 families, because there's a lot of illegal 2 families, illegal in-laws. I think that's what we need.
Well,
The issue.
I think if the assessors have it as a legal apartment or an in-law apartment, that's fine. If they're not listed, then they don't get that other barrel unless they want to pay for it.
I mean, I agree with him, but I don't know. Is that the verbiage? I'm good with that for an explanation. What Bob's saying is, how can we put that into some kind of verbiage? Actually, I mean, it sounds kind of. I know it sounds kind of silly, but we're probably going to have a lot of people exercising this. I guarantee. I've had an in-law apartment for the last 20 years. I'm sure we're going to hear that.
So where it was discussed before was the building apartment, which makes it legal, not the assessor's office. Assessor just based assess on use. So it was always discussed that the building apartment would be the authority to decide whether it was a legal 2-family or illegal 2-family.
Okay.
All right, then we can go with that then.
And
So
if it's not a legal one, they can still buy a barrel for the other illegal.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So in the city of Amesbury's contract, it defines a residential unit as any individual residential dwelling as defined in Appendix D, but their Appendix D basically lists the sizes because they have a lot of multifamilies and they don't pick up anything over, I think, 4 units. So you can't have more than 4 units in a building for them.
Okay.
So do you think we could just be that we would have to confirm with the building department that it's a legal apartment? You think we don't have to put that in, might want to put that in our regulation. Is that what you're saying, Jane?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah, I mean, I understand that, that we'll have to, anyone asking for extra barrels for an apartment, we'll have to check it with the building department. Or building, however word you want to put there.
Okay.
Or could you go building department and or tax collector? I'm not a, you know me, I'm not a person with.
I think it's a tax assessor.
Yeah, if it has a tax ticket on it, in other words, and it gets assessed a tax, I think that if it has 2 different residencies, then basically, they both get assessed. So I would think the question would be if it's on the assessor's books as being taxable, then I think it's a regular address. I think that's right. It'd be worth asking them because I think the building inspector is probably going to have to pull permits. I don't know how they would do it. How they would be able to determine that, because some of the stuff's been around forever. So you'd think if the assessor may know. I don't know.
You know what we could put, Jane? Just like we just said, tell me if this covers it, Tom. I mean, she's gonna write the verbiage better than me, but it would have to be checked with the building department and or the tax assessors. So that way it covers us both. Does that sound better, Tom? I mean, she'll write it better than that. Don't go with the exact words I say.
Yeah.
And or, like an and or.
Sounds
Perfect.
I would think that it falls on the tax assessor more than anyone.
Right. I would agree with you, but I would agree with you. I'll say that.
Yep.
Oh shit, I lost my agenda. Jane, did you take my agenda?
That's pretty much it.
Got it. Got that. All right. Paul, do you want to discuss review public hearing notice, Jane?
Yeah, just take a look at that.
Yeah.
Make sure everybody's good with April. What is it? April 6th. Yep, 4:30. And I think we talked about getting together for that one, right, Bob? Or are we going to do it all remote? What's the plan?
We can, according to Mike McCarron, we can do it together. First floor hearing room, because it's all set up. Everybody's been vaccinated. I think we should probably just state that in the very beginning. But the CPC meets there, both in person and virtually. So I don't see why there's any reason why we can't.
So will we be able to record from there, like the selectmen?
Yeah, I believe so.
And that they have access to the being able to call in and stuff, I think, in there too,
Yeah.
right?
I do.
So I have a question.
Oh,
I
go for it.
realize that you're having your public hearing on the 6th. What
Yeah.
time is it?
4:30.
Paul said 4:30 to 8:30. That's 8:30. I'll be in bed.
Let me just look at my calendar. So I have a public hearing that night at I have zoning board that night in Georgetown.
Okay.
It doesn't say what time, it just says April 6th.
I believe, Jason, now I want the other two board members and anyone else involved. I'm hoping roughly it's going to be a procedural thing. And I'd like to believe, like I definitely want, input from Bob and Tom if you have any. Do you think we'd do okay without Jason? You think you'd like to have Jason here just in case, Tom?
I think that there's going to be specific questions that people are going to ask that we're not going to be able to answer because we're not the contractor. And I think that his ability to field some of the questions would be invaluable to this thing working well.
I'll go along with that because I really think we should have, Jason there to answer some of the questions that we can't.
Jason, you want to call me tomorrow and let me know what time yours is?
You're muted, Jason. I think you are.
You already put out the public notice?
Yeah, it's on the website. It's not
Good
at the
boy.
paper. We didn't have to do it at the paper. But if we have to bounce it to the next night, we can do that.
Texting my attorney right now.
Oh,
Kind of
what's
a
this
big one.
for?
I had an appeal.
Is this for your station, Jason?
Yeah, we filed an
Yeah.
appeal to the
Okay,
zoning board.
yeah.
We can always do the 13th too. That's a regular Board of Health meeting. We can open with the public hearing, then go into the Board of Health meeting.
Jane, how long did Jason, if you're gonna talk, just, I don't want to interrupt you. You looking or you want to? Oh, I didn't know if you're looking at your schedule.
No, I'm just waiting for my attorney to get back to me.
Okay. With that said, Jane, when it was just put on the website, I just want to make sure and clarify, does that need to be on there for 2 weeks?
No, it's got the same laws as the public meeting for us.
So it only has to be 48 hours.
Yeah, but I have it on there and I'm gonna send it out. I'm gonna broadcast it too, just so it's fair for everyone to know.
So we technically, we're not doing it tonight. We technically could do it a day later or 2 days later or whatever. A week later.
Yeah, I can always take it
Okay.
down and repost. Yeah, not a problem.
Jason, the guy's probably busy, no offense. I mean, I don't think he's gonna drop maybe what he's doing. No offense to you. So look at Tom laughing at me. But if you want to just get back to Jane tomorrow, if that works easier for you, Jason.
You're muted.
You're muted again.
I'm trying to be considerate. I'm technically on for 7 p.m. on the 6th. Or
Jason, do you really see our meetings going more than 2 hours?
I don't.
No, I don't
Whether-
either, but
I don't either, but with the public hearing and the new it may, it could. We,
yeah,
I think we should see if we can accommodate your schedule, Jason, to see
Yep.
whether or not we can, because I think it's going to be important to have you available.
oh, absolutely.
So I am
if we
wide
can,
open. Pretty much
if
all
we can
day.
do it on the if we can do it on the 13th or whatever day, if it would be, if it's better for Jason, then we can do it then too.
I apologize. Did we set that date last time?
I think we talked about it, but I don't think,
Tentatively, we didn't, Jason, we never
We
locked
picked
anything
both
down.
those
Don't feel
dates.
bad.
Yeah.
Don't feel bad.
Yeah, I don't think that I knew back then that I was going to be on ZBA.
How's your schedule look for the 13th? Like Bob just said, and or Tom and, Bob, obviously. You guys can check your schedule if you want.
13th is fine with me.
Tom, you think you're okay? I know you have a schedule too, buddy. You're muted.
Yep, I think that's okay with me.
so how about if we do this, you guys? We do the public hearing on the 13th and we do the Board of Health meeting on the 6th. That way.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Works for me.
Okay, so I'll just swap the two around.
Right, and we may not actually, I'm not sure, seeing today's the 23rd.
I
We
know.
may not even need something on the 6th, but
Yeah.
we'll take that as it comes, of course. You know what I mean? No, of course we will.
Okay.
Is everyone good with that?
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Yep.
The only other question I did have is Paul had on our agenda, and I just want to make sure Paul may say pass or not, about the American Legion tight tank. Paul,
I haven't had a chance to finish that review yet, so that's still.
okay, that's fair, because that was the only thing left on our agenda, I think.
So I have one question. When I was reading Jane, when I was reading the packet for the public hearing, on the last page, I was confused because it said existing regulations for the trash, and it has something dated December 10th, 2002 that says people can leave out 4 times 45 gallons or 180 gallons of trash each week. And I was like, I thought I understood it. It's actually 2 barrels and it's 64, right? So this one was superseded with a newer one, right? In other words, there's a new regulation that's a
This
newer
is
one
gonna-
than this one.
Yeah,
Okay, all right, okay.
And I think what I might do when I read it is incorporate the first one to be repealed and replaced by the new one,
Okay,
you know.
okay, so yeah, so we'll just get a copy of whatever that one is at the meeting, right? Whatever the most current one is. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Paul also, I was also thinking, I don't want to rehash it, but does legal apartments, an in-law apartment have an address or no? I don't want to rehash this. It's a question. So if I had an in-law apartment, which I don't, it wouldn't be like my address is 42 and that's 42A, correct?
The town does funny things with the numbering system. The same house, Phyllis Leonard's house, for example, on Main Street, has 3 different addresses.
Okay.
66, 64, and I think there's another one in there for the amount of apartments she's got. It's the same building, 3 different numbers. 325 Main Street has 325, 327, and 329. It's the same building.
All right. We probably just leave it how we probably just leave it how we said it to the building department and or assessors, I'm sure. That gives us a way out, I believe.
Yeah.
Tom, someone just texted me. That's why I asked that. Up old news, sorry. Anything else, guys?
Not that I can think of.
Jason, so we're gonna go with the 13th with you? Everyone's good with the 13th?
Yes.
Perfect.
So I apologize. I'm just reading the contract from, which one? This is dated 2015. In that year, you decreased the limit to 2 35-gallon barrels.
Thank you.
I thought our decrease in barrels was 2010, Jason.
That's what I thought too. I honestly
It's
did.
highly possible. I shouldn't have said that that's when you decreased it, but I know your 2015 contract did state residents will be limited to
I think it's
235.
2010. That's on the calendar.
Okay.
But at least we're repealing that anyways. If we're repealing the December 10th, 2002 regulation is what we'll be doing. So,
But that already was repealed, wasn't it? Because
It would have had to. They would have
Yeah,
had to have been to be replaced by the 2010.
So this shouldn't be discussed this should not be discussed during the hearing, because that is a huger contrast to going to 64 gallons than basically saying it's always been 64, but you could use 2 barrels, and now you're just going to do 1 barrel, which is basically the way that I always understood how this change is going to happen right now.
right.
So at the hearing, however we're going to do it, we're basically going to use whatever the most recent one was, whether it's 15 or 10, 2010 or whatever, that explicitly says 2 45-gallon or whatever it is. Now we're going to go to 64. That's what the discussion would be, right? Or that's what we'd be explaining, and which basically isn't a change. It's just 1 container versus 2 containers. Is that okay, Jane?
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't really a regulation that was passed in 2010, I don't believe. I think it was a waste reduction program is what we called it. So I'm not sure that we actually have a regulation on file.
So your bigger issue is going to be that now you're limiting recycling.
Right, we do have unlimited recycling on our thing right now.
But back then, recycling was profitable.
Yeah, the only explanation, if we're questioning that, and I'm not, I mean, I'm gonna add to Jason's, without a doubt, we're gonna get kickback. I think we all understand that. But in the last few years, where we used to possibly make a profit off of recycling, we had to do this because it's actually costing the town anywhere from $30 a ton, because it went down to what, 32, I think, Jane? So we're
Yeah.
not lying, up to $100 a ton. So it's costing the taxpayers money. That's why we have to start to try to limit that too. Is that fair, Jason, or is that a bad explanation?
No, it's absolutely fair.
Right.
Like the market fluctuates, previously you were never charged for disposal of recycling, so it didn't matter how much you put out.
Right.
But now that there's actually a fee associated, the only way you could budget for it is to limit it. And if you do create more recycling, then you should have to pay your fair share.
They can still go up to pipe stave with it too, right? I mean,
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
we're not really limiting because there's no limit on what you can put up at pipe stave. So although we are limiting what they can put out in front of their house, so basically what we're limiting is the convenience of being able to have something in front of your house and be picked up every 2 weeks. So yeah, it is going to be a change, because on trash day you definitely see people that have the little either blue containers filled up, and then they'll have cardboard all leaning up against it, everything like that. So they do use a lot more, or they do require probably more than what's going to fit inside of that 64-gallon container. And it's not always as efficient to put like cardboard in there than bottles, cans, and newspaper, which you could put in there. And and we are in a climate right now that we generate lots of cardboard with all the stuff that gets delivered. You know, all the Amazon containers and packages and stuff like that. I guess it's something to be a little sensitive to. I don't know what we could do, because it is possible for people to bring the stuff up to pipe stave if we're going to limit it. But that's probably that might be the bigger impact thing, Blake, than even the trash. No,
I 100% agree, and that's why I was saying we'll probably sell more recycling barrels than we will trash barrels, is what I'm thinking. But I go up there all the time. I still go up there quite a bit, and literally people can pull in with the smallest Volkswagen that brings stuff up there, if you know what I mean. So it's not like you have to have a pickup truck to bring stuff up there, is what I guess I'm getting to. Slice it up into 3-foot chunks at your house and bring it up there.
yeah.
But yes, it's going to be kickback. Absolutely. I don't think any of us took it lightly. I might be pushing it hard. Don't get me wrong, but I felt as if when we signed with Jason back last year, that was on the move, and then, COVID slowed us down, and now we're probably rushing a little bit, but our fiscal year's coming up again. I know we just got to get it done, unfortunately.
Well, the sticker schedule clearly says that that you can get another recycling container for $100, and then you can pay $100 a year for the convenience of having them pick it up. They're still going to have to deal with the fact that they're going to have to get cardboard into a trash barrel. But that's there's still an out here. There's still an out. I mean, there's still a practical way to offer them an additional way of being able to handle the recycling, and also go in a pipe stave. So I guess it's not that unreasonable, but people will be taken back by the fact that now they have to either participate in getting rid of it a little bit on their own, or they have to pay more money.
I agree. Tom, did you get some of those Cheeto chips in your eye?
No, I didn't, and they weren't. They were nuts. They were
Come on,
peanuts.
we're
and
kidding you,
stuff.
Tom.
So, I'm sorry, it was really loud.
We were kidding you, Tom. Does anyone have anything else?
No, I don't.
everybody knows the October 2nd date for the hazardous waste.
Yep.
And that's it. Okay, good deal.
Tom, I'm being honest, and I'm really not. I know Tom thinks I'm picking on him tonight. I know he does.
No.
You ought to come down to, even if you just come down for an hour or two, and I'm being sincere to the hazardous waste thing, just to see what happens. You don't
I'm
have to
planning
sign
on
up.
going down there.
Yeah, you don't have to sign up. I think you should just see how it works. You know what I mean? No, it's pretty well.
Tom's working the gate. I got Tom working the gate.
Oh, you do?
No, I'm gonna be vaccinating people when they come in.
Yeah. Good job.
So I do have a question
Sure.
that is going to come up. If people are paying $100 for the barrel, do they own it? And if they move, they get to take it with them?
I would think that would, I think that would be, I would think they'd have to, yeah. If they're paying for it, we don't own it, they do.
Jason, what is that? I know, that's a tough one. Go ahead, Tom. I'd rather you say, go ahead, Tom.
I mean, I don't know. I think that for an addition, maybe we could clarify it for an additional barrel to be assigned to that address or something like that. I don't know. I mean, is that going to cover the cost of it, Jason, if they walk away with it?
Yes.
Oh. Then
The $100 covers the cost of the barrel and the cost for us to deliver.
okay.
I would think that they get to own it.
Okay.
That would be my guess. And I think we're going to get, if they're spending money for something and then we're going to turn around and say, "Tap, we own it." First of all, they're not going to do it. And second of all, people are going to be stomach ugly. So I think if they pay for it, they own it.
Yeah.
Okay, so next question is, do you want them to have one with a seal on it, or do you want me to sell them one of mine?
Well, they're going to be affixing a current sticker permit that allows them for it to be used within a calendar period.
Yep.
So does it really need to say anything on it? In other words,
That's why I'm asking, because I have blank ones. I have ones with my name on them. Now I'm going to have ones with your seal on them. I don't generally have a lot of blank ones. I usually have my name hot stamped on them. It doesn't matter to me one way or the other. It's more so comes down to inventory. So not knowing how many people are going to want a second barrel, it's actually easier if I sell them one of mine.
I think so too.
Yeah, I would agree with you, because then they can take it elsewhere. If there's a thing of West Newbury on it, I mean, if we can come up with one, if you don't have an issue with trading out, not trading out, but just putting mellow, I mean, then.
Well, I'm assuming I get the $100, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh, absolutely. You're getting $100.
So I think that will also help on the argument of people that have already bought carts from me in the past. So now they can just buy the sticker from you and they can use the existing carts that they have.
Well, that's awesome.
So we're not forcing them to actually buy our cart, as long as it's a cart that is usable. Whether or not they've bought carts from Home Depot in the past, like you had put in it, that if they think the cart's acceptable, we'll go check it out.
Does yours say property of J Mello, or does it just say your
No,
name on it?
it just has my logo on it.
Okay, then, yeah.
I think that's what we ought to stick with, Jason. Yes, you were always getting 100. That's how it was always worded. You're getting 100 and we're getting the excess for the trash, so to speak, or recyclables. I think that's.
They got a bargain because they bought them I used to sell them for $75 and then we went up. And there were quite a few people in West Newbury that had bought our carts in the past.
Yes,
I see.
there's a bunch of them all over town.
Yeah.
So Jason, are they all one color? Are they all going to be green? And
It's the same as the ones I bought for you. I have brown for trash, green for recycling.
okay, cool.
Yeah. I think that's a done deal. I don't know if that had to be put anywhere, Jane. Did we, or did we just don't care? It's just we're
Oh,
giving.
Yeah, I'll write it in. I'll
Okay.
put it in the brochure and the facts as well.
Yeah, I would just put, if you purchase an additional cart or have purchased one in the past, that the homeowner maintains ownership of that.
Okay.
I think that's gonna make a lot of people much happier on this.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think so too.
Yeah, I do too.
Definitely.
I mean, you have quite a few people in town that have big carts from Home Depot or from Lowe's that, yes, they're most likely going to get approved to be able to be used. And then that's just gonna save them $100, and then they're not gonna complain that they already bought one.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah, I think it's good. Who brought that up? You, Jason, or Tom?
Jason.
Oh,
Jason did.
Sorry. Like I said, a real tough day.
No problem. And in all honesty, it's a lot easier because I buy so many carts.
Right.
You know, if I ran out of yours, to just go out and buy 100 or 200 of them, then the price is like double. But
Okay.
for the ones with my name on it, I always order a tractor trailer load and then just
Right.
sit on it.
excellent.
Good. No, I think I'm glad you brought that up, Jason. Anything else, guys? I don't want to rush it. I really don't.
No.
No, I'm fine.
All right, till the 6th at our next meeting, correct?
If we need it, yeah.
If we need it.
And you're gonna change the hearing to the 13th.
13.
At 4:30.
Other than my calendar.